Hey y'all, and welcome back to my videos. Are you ready to take charge of your life and make more positive changes? And that's not a trick question. I'm not talking about the rah sis boom bah type of stuff. I'm talking about actually making small changes that make a big difference in your life. I know, like me, y'all are tired of scrolling past and listening to everybody talk about what you can do to make these huge changes in your life. It's overwhelming, sometimes infuriating, because you're thinking that you have down this whole thing of what you should do. And just when you think you got it right, it's another way to do it. We all gonna make mistakes. We all gonna have issues. We all gonna have ups and downs. And that's why I made today's video. So if you're looking to boost your energy, improve your mood, or just feel better overall, you've stumbled onto the right video. These 10 essential healthy habits I'm talking about today will help to transform your life in as little as 30 days, 1 month. That's all you need. And I got my notes right in front of me, y'all. So go ahead and grab your pen and paper so you can get all this good. And look, we ain't working miracles, but we are trying to find ways to make your day-to-day even better so you can get jump started to your ultimate goals. Let's go. So one thing that really changed and transformed my life is meal prepping. And I'm not talking about 5-star meal prep. You don't have to be doing the most to get the most from it. This changes your life quickly because it puts you in a control position. A lot of us struggle in this world because we don't have a control of a lot. We just don't. But one thing that you can help is your accountability with your food. And this does not mean you have to meal prep everything. If you're starting off, start off slow. Maybe you're just going to meal prep for one meal, your lunch or your dinner, something simple, something easy that keeps you accountable instead of checking in with DoorDash and paying more in fees than you do for the food. I know, I've been there. What you might start off is understanding the macros, understanding your proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, as well as your calories. And it's not just about calorie counting, it's just about knowing what you're putting in your body. When I started to meal prep back when I lost all that weight years ago, and what I'm doing now to lose this baby weight, I started to understand again what I was putting into my mouth. I was switching out things, maybe some vegetables instead of other things I was taking in, or maybe even replacing some of the sweets I was having with fruits or other things that I would enjoy. It's easier on your pockets. And not only that, you start to discover new things that you like. I like to incorporate the slow cooker and the air fryer, honey. You do not have to be standing over no stove 9 to 5 like you an actual chef. Just make sure that you take the time to maybe bulk prepare, and you don't need to buy expensive stuff. Get yourself some chicken tenderloins, some turkey tenderloins, some chicken breasts. Maybe even if you're a vegetarian, get some other things like mushrooms and other things that pair well with green peppers, red peppers. Get creative. And when I did this actually helped me to feel like I could do it. I could eat healthier. I could season my food and make it good. And it also taught me ways to introduce new foods to my palate. Take some time to maybe switch out one meal and maybe only do it for 3 days. On Sunday, slow cook some rice, slow cook some vegetables, or maybe make yourself a stew or a chili, something like that. And then pack that away for your next 3 days and see how that works for you. It saves you time, energy, money, and it's going to boost your mood because you ain't in there cooking all day. If you're in the Houston area and you are looking for affordable meal prep, my sister, shameless plug, gets you all the way together. Cam is the truth. Got her email down below for you. The next thing that transformed my life is blocking out fake meetings on my calendar. No lie, no joke. This keeps other people from blocking time on your schedule. Sometimes you need a little solitude, and planning in that time gives you time to do whatever you want with it, even if it's just sitting there or doing a little bit of what you consider self-care. But just blocking out that time on your schedule lets others know that you have things to do and you're booked and busy, and you actually are, because even if you're booked and busy on yourself, it's busy. And I have found that this really gives me something to look forward to. And with those hours and with that time, I do what I need. You don't have to go explaining who this meeting is with and who they are. Just know that that time is for you. Get them fake meetings on your calendar. I had to get out of my popular self-care bag, y'all. I think a lot of times we think of self-care as this grand old thing that has to look a certain way or it has to be aesthetic. I've gotten into the self-care that focuses on the things that sustain me or that I want to change. This makes the care more effective and you feel more in control of your situation. So you got to define self-care for you. Right now, my goal is to not lose myself as a mother and a wife. I cannot afford to do it. I don't want to do it. I want to maintain a certain level of care for my skin, hair, body, and my mind. And that's where Nira comes in. Skin, and I'm happy they're today's video sponsor. It's the fastest, most powerful at-home or on-the-go laser for treatment of wrinkles on the full face, neck, chest, and the backs of the hands, areas we often forget. It smooths, brightens, and even lifts the skin. Hyperpigmentation and toning and firming maintenance are all important for my skin these days. And I've seen a noticeable difference in the fading of dark marks and spots that I've had in my changing skin these days. Now, my skin been feeling real good, but it's firming and it's smoothing. And I'm experiencing less texture overall. Now, I'm not one to be using a whole bunch of appliances on my skin at one time. That's how I know the effects of the Nira over the past 30 days. I've learned that it rebuilds collagen and renews the skin. And we know collagen is important for lifting and tightening the skin, snatched in more ways than one. Get this, I only need 3 to 5 minutes a day. I power up my Nira Pro and do it to where I feel warmth and not pain. We're not trying to burn our skin. I press the laser fully up against the skin in order to begin the treatment. I've been focusing on the right side of my face because that's where I suffered a lot of hyperpigmentation right after giving birth. And I've seen my skin really clearing up. I brought the med spa home and there's no pain, redness, or downtime. You know I gotta lock in moisture and maximize the results of using the treatment. I follow with Nira's hyaluronic acid serum, followed by their new youth renewal peptide cream. And my skin is left feeling like butter. I love the portable and lightweight design so I can throw it in my bag wherever I'm going, especially during travels. So y'all upgrade your skincare routine with me and maintain your glowy skin anywhere you go with Nira. Use my link and code drnina for 30% off the first week my video is live and 10% off after that. Choose 3 goals to prioritize daily. I have a whole list of to-dos. I have a to-do book. Y'all have seen it before. The thing is so raggedy because it's so full of to-dos, and I get a lot of it done, but there's some things I do not make it to. And those things sometimes, with a long list of things, really make me feel bad about myself, no matter how much I accomplish. So what I've started to do recently is focus on 3 things that I know I can get done in a day. And here's the thing. If people come in to interrupt me with things that don't necessarily need to be done right then, I have learned to say no to them in order for me to accomplish those 3 things. The reason why is those 3 things help me to feel more positive about myself. You learn the things that you can prioritize in order to get done. You learn that you can set a goal and get it accomplished and move towards bigger goals. Not only that, you learn boundaries. You learn to say no. I have these 3 things to get done and I must accomplish them today. Remember, other people will always tell you no when they have something else to do. It's okay for you to do it as well. Prioritize yourself, prioritize your smaller goals so that you can get to the bigger ones and feel more in control of your life. Slowly but surely, and even in 30 days, this will help you feel like a boss. At certain times in my life, I've had to recalibrate because I felt down and low and couldn't figure out where the feeling was coming from. Even after giving birth, I felt low and I had to realize it was because of some of the content I was taking in. Everything is not for us to be consuming consistently. I'm a crime junkie. I even took serial killer courses, and with what I do in my work, I have to know some things. However, consumption of that all the time will definitely beat down on your spirit. Hearing celebrity gossip all the time, hearing all the negative things about the world. I'm not saying to surround yourself with only things that are just magical and flowers. However, a lot of times when we consistently subject ourselves to things that don't sit well with our spirit, guess what's going to happen to you? Day by day, you're not going to sit well with your spirit. True crime is great, but when I'm sitting up day in and day out, stressing out about a case and really not giving myself time to breathe or to have time to just think clearly or positively and listening to those motivational messages or reading my Bible or doing other things that really feed into my positive spirit, it comes out. Maybe it's reality TV. Maybe it's the crime TV. I used to keep my TV on IDTV. I do not do that anymore. I cannot be sitting up talking about the neighbor next door that might, hurt you. Okay. No more of that. I've learned that cleansing my soul sometimes and really just getting that positivity and motivation in is fine, but I have to have a balance. Now, y'all, this might not be the best advice, but it totally works for me. Wake up early in the morning or stay up late at night to get ish done. Everything outside is popping and hopping and lit during the day, even in the house. Okay, you got questions about stuff, people want to ask you stuff, you got the phone ringing, you got all of that. But early in the morning and late at night, usually the chances of that happening reduce greatly. So those are the times that I'm able to get the things done that I need to. I'm able to pull out my to-do list and knock out a lot more. You're probably going to have to arrange your schedule for such. So for sometimes I will ask on the weekend, make sure I check in with my husband, sleep later so that I'm able to stay up later on the evening side and get things done. The other thing about that is if I want to get in some self-care time, I'm able to. My phone isn't ringing. I'm not getting text messages. So I'm naturally a lot more inclined to focus on myself. The same thing goes for workouts. If you can, getting up early in the morning or even finishing your day with a late night workout is wonderful because you have less of those intrusive thoughts, less people coming in, less things happening during that time. So just think of it this way. Those are pocket times where people are less available to interrupt you on your grind and what you're seeking to do. Decluttering can be diabolical, okay? Sometimes hearing it makes my skin crawl. But one thing that I know is spending 10 minutes a day decluttering my space or even just tidying up things really makes a difference. One thing I've learned is labeling little buckets to keep things in until I'm able to find them a permanent place to live in my home. I've shown y'all one of my storage closets in the house that I like to label. So I have like clear containers in there where I put different things, skincare and body care and other things that are needed throughout the house at different times. So instead of me setting it around the house as I use it, it is put in a safe space for keeping. So there's multiple places to keep things, but they are decluttered. I know it's there as well. Another thing that I make it a practice to do is give things away now. I do not hold on to stuff that has no sentimental value, and I try to only keep things that I'm going to be using for sure. Secondly, I just want to make sure that I am giving things to people that can actually use them. I take them to things like shelters, to people that I know will appreciate them. Sometimes half the time we cannot start things in our home or do work or get other things accomplished because we're thinking about the messes that are all around. As I use things, I clean them. Just small things like that don't take as much time unless you let it build up over time. That's when we got a problem. I like to assign days for repeating tasks. So I just mentioned decluttering, but you might have a day where you focus on deeper cleanings or making sure that your home is dust free, or even with the baby. I like to make sure that certain things in her room are cleaned and that they are tidy. I even incorporated using laundry basket liners instead of having the laundry basket. Something about carrying the laundry basket up and down the steps keeps me from wanting to do it. But I look forward to the days that I know I'm going to be pulling her yellow bag, okay, which I got off Amazon, and I just pull it out and I'm able to take it down to make sure that her clothes get cleaned on certain days, at least 2 or 3 times a week. So I'm trying to make sure that I prepare days that have ready-made tasks so that I'm able to focus on those instead of being overwhelmed with a bunch of things every day. I tell you, you're not going to have everything tidy. I talked about decluttering. You're not going to have everything tidy every day, but maybe you have a day designated to cleaning your bathroom, or you have a day designated to cleaning your guest room. Your whole house ain't always realistically going to be clean all the time. And even if you're a single person, because I've been that for years before now, I will tell you that I still had designated time for tasks. And that even goes for journaling, because people will talk about journaling like it's just so easy every day to journal. I don't, okay? And I've always told y'all that. I pull out my journals when necessary. But what I found is even designating 2 to 3 times per week that I'm journaling and writing down things I'm grateful for, or things I hate, or things I don't like, things that grind my gears, okay? Getting it out on paper at least a certain amount of times per week during a specific day gives me something to look forward to, as opposed to, oh my God, I'm about to journal again. Some days you just don't have anything to talk about. So just having that designated day gives you time to really put things down and know exactly what's going on in your brain and what you need to get out on paper, instead of having to really make something a new task. Just have those designated days and it will help you to feel more accomplished. Y'all, I'm still a work in progress on this one, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm holier than thou. But digital detoxing every now and again, and also digital free meals. I've told y'all I have really implemented this. I try to actually actively take my phone and put it elsewhere when it's time for dinner or other things, so that I can connect with my family and also be fully present. What I found is when those screens are around, they really do mess with you. Okay. If you're connected to your phone, whether you want to or not, sometimes it causes distraction, and it also makes it harder to listen to people that are in your presence, or even just listening to yourself. I found that that's best when I'm calming myself down at night, not listening to the phone as much, or especially when I'm in the presence of my baby. She's really helped with that, because at those times I want to help to educate her, help her to learn new things, help her to engage with me and with Sean and with our family. The realistic part about this is you can set up the times that work for you. And even 30 minutes to an hour a day is going to add back to your day and give you something else to look forward to. Moving my body throughout the day or just moving more has also really helped me feel more in control of my life and feel better overall. So, even on days where I can't get a workout in, I'm just trying to move more. So, if you take a phone call and you're at home, maybe walk up and down the steps for the time that you're on the phone. So, what the person is going to hear you be a little bit breathy, whatever. So, you don't have to have a concentrating workout, but maybe it's 5 to 10 minutes every hour that you're moving around to give yourself an accumulated amount of time. Those of y'all that have an Apple Watch, you know that the stand time, it really makes you competitive, especially if you have that function on. It lets you know that you've stood your amount of time during each hour that helps you to add to becoming more healthy or even getting more steps in. I plan on getting an under the desk treadmill here soon as well, just to keep me moving when I'm more sedentary. It just adds to your life overall. Yes, it's great to have a great workout, and y'all know I'm all about that. But some of us don't have the time to spare, and we really can't find it just yet. But where we can start in these next 30 days is just moving 5 to 10 minutes out of every hour that you're awake. Set up a simple schedule for yourself and for your family. I mentioned that sometimes I can get up early and sometimes I go to bed late in order to get things done, but I also try to keep this around the same amount of time or the same time every day. In general, a certain time should be reached for your wake up time and for your sleep time. The reason why is because the body gets used to this. This helps to help that circadian rhythm, help you to get into that REM sleep, get better sleep, feel more rested and energized, and it's more predictable for your body. Not only that, but adding in time pockets for almost everything, even with getting ready. On the days when I get ready in like 10 minutes and hurry up and throw on something and get my face together and stuff like that and take a good quick shower, I find that I get more compliments and I also feel more better and comfortable with myself. It's so interesting. And I think because a lot of times we are so consumed by how the world connects with us and looks at us, and that's realistic. I'm guilty of it too. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I do not have my times. But what I find is spending less time, 10 to 15 minutes on getting ready, it helps me to get more time back into my life and also not focus so heavily on what other people are perceiving of me, but more of what makes me comfortable and how I'm presenting myself to the world. So think about the time pockets that you're putting into your day to day that could be added back to or taken away from. So maybe instead of getting up and taking about an hour and a half to get ready, sleep a little bit longer and give yourself a little bit more time to sleep and less time getting ready. So, y'all, I hope today's video has been beneficial and that you've learned a lot from today. Like, honestly, y'all, it's so much in this world that we can do in order to make ourselves better. But a lot of times we're thinking way too big. And I know I shouldn't say it like that, but sometimes we just need to think about the small things that we have the power to control right now in order to make even just the next 30 days of our lives much better so that we can start the movement towards larger, better habits. All right, y'all, make sure that you comment, share this video with someone who can use it, and subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.